Right, hello everybody, I'm at 7 o'clock, let's get started. Hi there, my name's Lewis Clamping, I'm here with my colleague Mr. Sam, Sam Lewis is at the background, but we've also got the head trader here, Mr. Adrian Boothby. Together we'll be going over a number of bits and pieces throughout the next hour and a quarter, but principally it's our flagship Sniper Circle trading strategy. I do recognise a few people in the room, so I'm sure that many of you have seen us before. If you haven't, if this is your first time looking at us, good evening, welcome. The line of thinking is that everybody can leave this evening's webinar presentation knowing exactly how to make an average of about 1,100 pips worth of profit. That's the monthly average that we have been yielding over the past number of years. Don't take it from me, without giving you the whole brass band, I'll certainly try to play our own trumpet once, twice. We are now the two-time receivers of the Best Trading Education Provider 2016 and now 2017 from ADVFN. I'm sure many of you have heard of the ADVFN company, huge, great big company, providing stock quotes and data. It's a cracking testament to the support and guidance the guys next door provide users. I have to say, it says quite a bit for the type of client that we tend to attract as well. Do you know what I mean? People that are typically, how can I say, a bit more serious about trading. You know, you sell your car, you don't want tire kickers just to rock up and have a quick gander, do you? People have to be serious about this. They have to be enthusiastic as well. This is something that has a fantastic degree of momentum, and we know to be working very well. I say that with a degree of confidence. We've been going now since 2003. For the recent joiners, I did cover this in the warm-up, but if you look at the screen just here, you can see this table of recent results here. This is every single entry using the end-of-day trading strategy. We'll be demonstrating it this evening, so you'll be able to nail this by the time you leave us this evening. Couple of losers there, as you can see, but on the whole, incredibly profitable time. It doesn't matter that it's summer, by the way. I get this all the time on a slight tangent. People say, Lewis, it's the summer, liquidity dries up. But everybody's on the beach on holiday, aren't they? There is no liquidity, no volatility. Have you seen the markets lately? Anybody here trade cryptocurrencies? Give me a yes or a no on the questions panel. There is a magnitude of volatility in the markets. This is what we're here for. Hi there, Michael, and Amrik and Selim, and Nick as well. Right, by the way, if you hadn't guessed, we are live and interactive here in Milton Keynes. We've been here now since 2003. I will be asking a number of questions over the next hour or so. You know, principally it's a yes or a no response, really, or a Y or an N. Something like that, that would be most appreciated. Well, you know, I'm sure that everybody in the room here will have questions for us as well. You know, Lewis, I've seen the webinar, you know, I've got a couple of bits that need clarifying. Type them away, ladies and gents. It says enter questions here. I think it says type message here. Anything you pop in there, I have a live questions panel here. So I'll read it out. I'll always endeavour to answer it as we go, sort of answer on the go type thing. Well, you know, the chances are there'll be somebody else in the room that will want to hear the answer to, I would suspect. Well, what with now 758, 59, 62, 63 people in the room, good evening to you all. Bennett says, hi, I am Ben. Ben, good evening to you. Excellent stuff, thanks for that. Right, well, with that in mind, can everybody do me a quick favour? Let's get started off on the right foot. Can everybody give me a quick hello, Lewis? Hi, good evening. Hi, hello, something like that. That would be fantastic. This is your Eurovision moment. Let me know, please, who is there? Anybody there, please? Ben is here. Hi there as well, Jazz and Paul. To you, Sharon and James and Stephen and Michael. Dana joins us. Amrik is here. Mark and Vaz. To Adamola, to Amos, to Winnie and Sandra and Jim. Michael and Norman and Darren and Edward and Dana. And also to you, Sunny, as well. And plenty more. Must move on, of course, otherwise it'd be here all evening, an evening of greeting everybody. Joseph is here as well. Hi there. Excellent stuff. Right, well, let's get participation officially started. Can I ask everybody a question? And everybody, please, would you mind just popping me down a quick one-line answer? Not really looking for war and peace, but guys, why do you want to trade? Just straight-up question. Why do you want to trade the markets? What is it about trading that appeals to everybody in the room, please? And answers on that questions panel. Go. So that says money to make an extra income, says Sharon. Salim says income. Make extra money, extra income, lot of extra incomes. Residual income, says Joseph. Second income, says Diraj. As does Amric. Retire early, says Amos. Another way to generate profits, says Nick. Interesting. Replace main income, says Joseph. I'm sure there'll be plenty of people in the same boat as you, Joseph. Sandra, this is such an important point, Sandra. Money in retirement. There are so many people in that boat that look at us, Sandra. It is doable. You have to be able to follow the rules. We'll come on to it, of course, throughout the duration of this evening's webinar. Extra income as well, says Anwar. Robert, very rewarding and pleasing to make a successful trade. Fun, basically, says Robert. Excellent. I need rules, says Sandra. Sandra, you are looking at a rules-based trading strategy. I won't go into it just yet. Adrian will cover it in a bit more detail. Michael, to make money, of course. Goes against the age-old model of sort of making money, really, doesn't it, trading? It might be a full-time income. It might be a secondary income. It might even be to pay to go away on holiday each year. See, I'm going to set the scene with a typical case study. Ladies and gents, it's absolutely reasonable to trade our end-of-day trading strategy and make over 1,000 pips worth of profit a month. It's also very reasonable and typical to trade at £5 per point. Many of our existing clients do so, and they pick up profits in excess of £5,000 per month, tax-free, of course, if you're spread betting in the UK. It goes against the model of making money typically. You know, you put your 12-hour shift in at your widget factory or your consultant doing your tax returns and so on. Trading is different. With the right information to hand, you can, and we see people do make thousands, and that's precisely what this afternoon/evening is all about. It's a gentle look through the keyhole into what can be achieved, and not only from trading, but the support and guidance that we provide users here at Trendsignal. Good. So we've qualified that it's money that we want to make, but how much money can we make at this? Well, this afternoon/evening, Adrian and I will be going through our flagship sniper circle trading strategy, so we know how to make points or pips. It's the same thing, really. But first, we need to consider our goals and expectations. See, many come to me each week saying they need to make in excess of 100 pips profit a day in order to make any tangible return from this. The good news is you don't need anything like that. Just 20 pips a day can be all you need, but what does this mean to you? Well, profitable trading is easier than you think. And here's how it works. Say you buy any market at 10,000, you sell it at 10,020. So they have 20 pips or 20 points. It's the same thing, really. Now, you do that on average every trading day, excluding weekends, of course, typically 20 trading days in a month. Simple maths, 20 lots of 20, 400 pips profit per month. Excuse me. Now, that's a good tally, but of course, how can we monetize that? Well, you might be sat there trading with a broker like IG Index, CMC Markets. In fact, guys, let me know on the questions panel, please. If you're trading at the moment, who's your broker? Let me know on the questions panel. Who's your broker? Any IGs out there? Yeah, ETX Capitals, plenty of IGs. Yeah, you kind of suspect that, really. Goodness me, everybody's saying IG. CMC Markets as well, says Colip. Yeah, a lot of these brokers, guys, have something called a minimum trade requirement. Kind of is what it sort of says, really. It's the minimum that a broker will allow you to trade with. Now, often with a lot of these brokers, particularly here in the UK, it's £1 a point. Simple enough. You're looking at 400 pips per month times by £1 per pip. Well, it's 400 quid a month. Now, you know, a reality check, ladies and gents, let's face it, crying out loud, we're looking to trade the markets to get more than £400 a month, aren't we? Yeah? Can everybody give me a quick yes or a no, please? Or a Y or an N? I just want to get the flavour, really, of what the expectation is of everybody in the room. Are we looking to trade the markets to yield more than £400 per month? Yeah, plenty of yeses. Defo, says Darren. But it's all very well wanting it, but how do we get there? More pips? Or do we increase our trade size? Yeah, of course we increase our trade size. Think about it. It makes logical sense, doesn't it, ladies and gentlemen? I'm going to give you a couple of stats, really, that are maybe commercially sensitive. We have around about 7,500 users on our books here globally. All over the world, doesn't matter. Earlier today, signed up a guy over in Australia, Philippines, Malawi even. Doesn't matter, you've got a decent internet connection, broadband, you can trade the markets. We get about anywhere between 70, 80, maybe even 100 people join us every month here. The pattern they follow is almost always the same. They look at a webinar like this one, they end up paying their license fee money and they join us. They have the software downloaded and installed and get the one-to-one coaching sessions and all the rest of it that follows. As they continue to make profit, their skill and confidence grows, and so does their ability and their desire to increase their trade size. Ademola, you've nailed it, hole in one there. We increase our trade size. Think about it. Doesn't it make logical sense? If you're sat there generating 400 pips per month, yeah, by all means, trade at £1 a point. Build up confidence in the self. Build up confidence in the system. Build up confidence in yourself using the system. But of course, as your, how can I say, as your attitude to risk changes, perhaps you become a little bit more speculative. Maybe £400 a month doesn't really do it for you. People trade with £1 per point, £2, then £5, £10. Blimey, one of our biggest users here trades with an excess of £500 per point. There you go. How does that sound? I'm not saying get there right away. Of course I'm not. What I'm saying is, here at Trendsignal, there is a paved path here for people to follow. For crying out loud, we know what works. We certainly know what doesn't work. And that is why people pay us their money. It's for that knowledge to fast-track them to be in a position where they're signed off as competent using profitable, time-proven strategies. It really is as simple as that. £10 a point, simple illustration, 48 grand a year, tax-free if you're spread betting here in the UK. Not really telling you much though, it's just simple numbers really. This is the reason why people join us. If you have a pen and paper handy, I'd recommend making a quick note of this. In 2016, our 3 daily strategies made over 21,000 pips worth of profit. Let me give you this another way. There were Trendsignal users, a significant number of Trendsignal users that traded last year using the daily strategies. They traded at £5 per point and they made 6 figures. That absolutely happened. I love this metric. Call it £1 a point. 20 minutes per day. You're looking at an hourly working rate in excess of £250. It's not bad, is it? Recent results, I hear you cry. Yeah, well, that was 2016. What about 2017? Well, I'll give you 2017. January to May, you're looking at a total in excess of 4,000 pips worth of profit. Recent results, good grief. In June, we've just closed off June. We have 1 trade still open. Ladies and gents, the tally there is positive 949. What does this mean? If you were looking at a webinar at the end of May, you've missed out on 4,334 pips worth of profit. If that's not enough to turn you on, leave us. If you like it, pay your money and join us. The people that did at the end of May traded the end of day trend signals. They made nearly 950 pips worth of profit for June. If you trade that at £5 per point, you can do the maths on that. It's nearly £5,000. The 1 trade's still open. I'm told that we're in profit for it for a wee while. Always a little bit cautious when I mention that because it is open, it's not closed. I don't want to mislead anybody. Guys, it is all about having the right information to hand. Right, this is a bog standard candlestick chart. Many of you will be familiar with what this is, how it looks and so on. What I'm going to do is ask a few quick fire yes or no questions, please. Can I ask everybody, if you wouldn't mind, if you know the answer or it applies to you, ladies and gents, please, would you mind just popping me down a quick yes or a no, or if you fancy a Y or an N, something like that, that would be fantastic. Anybody here familiar with support and resistance, please? Anybody use support and resistance when you trade? Yeses, nos, please. Doesn't matter if it's a no, by the way. Trend lines, anybody please? Trend lines? And I need an answer from everybody. All 771 of you, please, don't just sit there. You will get kicked out. Please participate. You'll get much more from the session. Trend lines, anybody? Yeah, picking up bottoms, Picking up tops, does your chart look like this? Excuse the flippancy. Ladies and gents, two problems with this. Number one, how on earth is anybody ever able to deduce a profitable trading entry from what we have in front of us? Where on earth do you buy here? Where do you sell? Where's your stop loss? Where's your target limit? How on earth are you supposed to get into a trade like this one? Complete and utter mess. Do you know, number two, even if it worked, if this did work, genuinely, legitimately did work, you know what? Crying out loud, we'd all be doing it, wouldn't we? We absolutely would all be doing it right now. It's as simple as that. Yeah? Everybody would be. I don't care what you say. If you have something that's working, you damn well do it yourself. But it's not, and this is why so many people fall into the trap. Ladies and gents, anybody here familiar with indicators when they trade, please? Yeah? Anybody use indicators when they trade? MACDs, RSIs? Yeah? What style? Moving average? A Bollinger Bands? Bung those on there, see what they look like. Pesavento lines? Good grief, what are they? Volumes? Yeah? Buying and selling pressure? Guys, yeses and nos, please. A MACD. Everybody's heard of a MACD, haven't they? If we're lucky, I think Adrian might treat us all to a MACD later after the webinar. Tony, you've absolutely nailed it. Golden arches, says Darren. Tony says one word, and if you know what you're on about, you'll know what this means. Tony just says lagging. Guys, this is the problem with the industry. There are two. Look at the damn well mess we have in front of us. How on earth is anybody ever able to deduce a profitable indication where we have in front of us? What a complete and utter mess. Again, even if we were able to get in on a trade, this is the problem with the industry. You would all be doing it if it worked. I mean, with respect to us here at Trendsignal, we wouldn't have nearly 800 people listen to us drone on for the best part of an hour this evening. You'd be out there on the front line already making an income. This is the reality of the situation. Simply, I mean, I'm cynical. I'm quite cynical by nature, but this is very cynical. Are you really sitting there this evening telling me that your broker, a broker who typically wins when their client loses, is your broker really going to give you powerful, profitable trading indicators for free? What a ridiculous question. Of course they're not. What a load of rubbish. But people don't understand this, and this is the problem with the industry. It doesn't matter what type of person you are. It doesn't matter your background, if you're good or you're bad, whether you've traded before, whether you've got a PhD in further maths. It doesn't matter. The fact is, and actually, Ben here has summed it up quite nicely, they tend to confuse you. Ben, they are purposely set like that so that you think you're onto something. This is the problem with the industry. Right, enough of this. Ladies and gents, let's get on with the main event. If in the next few moments I can show you something on screen that clearly identifies for you when to get into a market and when to get out of a market, tell me please, would that be of interest? Yeah? Quick yes, quick no on the questions panel. Ladies and gents, next few moments on screen I can show you something that says buy me now, sell me now on any market and any time frame with around about a 75% strike rate. Would that be of interest? Yeah? Would that appeal to anybody? This is when you look at it, somebody says no, they might be in the wrong webinar. No, plenty of yeses going through. Excellent stuff. Amric, show me the money. Of course. Right, well, enough. Enough teasing. Let's get on with it. Guys, this is the problem, and this is the solution. This is us. This is Trendsignal. This is how we trade the markets. We've done this now since 2003. without trying to condescend to anybody, if you have the wherewithal to spot the disc on the chart, that's it. That is quite literally it. Trendsignal users were able to spot the green disc on the chart there. They knew, of course, a green disc meant a buy signal. They knew instantly where to put their stop loss. They knew instantly where to put their target limit in order to maintain that 75% strike rate. A long time, Jeff. Jeff asked a quick question. Quiet on the questions front, by the way, ladies and gents. Anybody have any questions? Fire them through, please. Jeff says, how long have you been doing this? Jeff, we actually set the company back up. It was actually December 2003, so it's going to be approaching 14 years at the end of this year. It's a long time learning exactly what helps people get their best results. We've kind of known for some time that the real key for success, especially for individual traders, is simplicity, i.e. the simpler the strategy, the easier it is to follow. The indicators we use are all our own unique indicators. We created them and have been using them ourselves and teaching people to use them since 2003. Try not to mislead anybody. The maths behind all of this, guys, is incredibly complex. It doesn't particularly matter because the strategies we teach take those complexities away, allowing you to focus on when to enter a market and when to exit a market with maximum confidence, because I guess that's what it's about after all. See the chart here? They're color coded. They're highly visual, especially the disc there on the chart. If you happen to be colorblind, we can change the colors of the indicators as you so wish, because that's what it's all about. It's about spotting when to get into a market, when to get out of a market with maximum confidence. Hey, because I guess that's what you're all after, isn't it, ladies and gents? Come on, let's have a yes or a no, please. Are you sitting there this evening looking to learn a simple to follow, rules-based, they are, Sandra, a rules-based trading strategy with maximum, exactly, Wayne, that's right, with maximum confidence? Clearly, when to get in, when to get out, including stops and targets. The beauty of a rules-based approach, it doesn't require discretion. And if it doesn't require discretion, there's no emotion involved. Because as we know, or we ought to know, if you trade on emotion, you will likely lose your bank there. Colette, exactly that. Yes, precisely. Again, it's all about having the right information to hand. One of the frequently asked questions we get here is, Lewis, I've seen a webinar. I've got some bloke on there telling me that it's a disc on a chart. How long does it take the average user to become competent at the Trendsignal program? If it's going to take me 6 months before I can start making a profit from this, doesn't really bode well, I suspect. Guys, you're talking days. You're not talking weeks or months to get this project off the ground. Mark here is a cracking testament. I won't read all of this out. Day 1, 220. Day 2, only 100. Day 3, 118 so far. This is exactly what we bring to the party. It's actionable information. Guys, this isn't a Bloomberg feed or BBC World News. It's very good at confirming what's already happened in the markets. Well, great. I've got some guy on Bloomberg telling me that the FTSE has rallied by 2.5% this afternoon. Well, thanks there, but the damn thing's moved. How on earth can I make profit from it if it's already happened? Somebody else has. Baron, I know, Baron. It doesn't matter though for the sake. Again, it's all about having right information to hand. The alternative, there will be people in the room here, I'm sure, who have done this or are doing it, or at least can certainly resonate with the feeling of this chap here. The alternative is having you develop your own trading strategy. Now, they say in life you can learn anything with 10,000 hours worth of practice, but there aren't many things that you'd like to do for 10,000 hours. Looking at charts even for a couple of hours a day just bores the pants off me. I couldn't think of anything worse, quite frankly. Well, it's a bit of an inconvenient truth, and I'm sure many of us kind of know this already, but we know it to be approximately 94-95% of self-directed traders lose money long term. About 94-95% it is. You have to ask yourself why that's the case. Let me put this into perspective, ladies and gents. Tomorrow, if you put £10,000 with your broker you have approximately a 5% chance of having more than that £10,000 in 4 weeks' time. Yeah, around about a 5% chance, 4 or 5% chance of having more than that £10,000 deposit in 4 weeks' time. Is there anybody in the room, knowing that information now, who would still take the risk there, please? This is where you hope that nobody says yes. No, exactly. Everybody's saying no, aren't they? Of course. I mean, knowing that information, nobody would they? They're just ridiculous. But people are. In fact, many people are. Like, overwhelmingly people do. Anybody here a gambler relying on hope and luck? Anybody here add to losing trades? Moving stop losses, all these sorts of terrible techniques. Adamola, practically ridiculous. Of course it is. If you want to be good at trading, it will not happen by accident. You have to do something about it. You have to invest in the skills and the tools you use to help you get it right. And at Trendsignal, we can help you with just that. It's the right tools, the right training, the right mentorship to help you use our trading strategies with maximum confidence. After all, we know they're rules-based. We know they're simple to follow. We know they're highly visual, and we know that they can be used by anybody, regardless of experience. Putting it simply, and this is the absolute #1 reason why people join us, people don't pay us their money to be taught the intricacies of how to trade the markets. You can't do that in a 2-year period, quite frankly. Hi there, Barbara. People pay us their money to be taught how to generate an income from trading the financial markets. There is a huge difference between those two statements, and thankfully, Trendsignal is that difference. There you go. Barbara, can you go through the charts again? Barbara, you've joined us at the right time. We'll be going through the charts in about 3-4 minutes' time. So sit tight, Barbara. You're about to look at the software in action. Right, last bit from me, guys, before I pass you over to Adrian. We'll throw ourselves into the software. We'll have a look at Trendsignal and the strategies under the microscope. But last bit from me, invariably people come to our webinars at a bit of a crossroads with their trading. Lewis, you know, I've done a bit of trading before. I've got a couple of accounts. I've won some money. I've lost some money. You know, typically lost some money overall, I would suggest. Maybe you're brand new to it, Lewis. I've never really traded before. I know what I know, but also I know that there's a lot that I don't know about it. I just don't want to lose money. If that's you, either end of the spectrum, it doesn't matter. We cater for people like yourself. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Bonus points for anybody in the room that can tell me who first said that, of course. If you want to be good at trading, it will not happen by magic. Have to do something about it. And the good news is that every single number, pip tally, profit figure that you see in this evening's webinar is perfectly achievable by anybody in this webinar. And I know that to be true because every single pip tally profit figure that you see in this evening's webinar has been achieved by clients of ours. These are clients' results. And of course, the difference between a client and a webinar attendee is the fact that a webinar attendee ended up paying their license fee money to have our software installed. That's the only difference. They joined us. They joined Trendsignal's trading community. Andrew here, had Trendsignal installed for about a year, wasted time, silly errors, demo account, all boring stuff. Since then, my mind has been completely focused, and I've increased my account by 120% in 3 months. Not 120 points, but 120%. Blimey, you ask any professional, money manager, fund manager, any IFA. Any IFAs in the room, let me know, please. If you're sat there generating an annual return on investment in excess of 15%, that's when you start getting invites to awards dinners. Yeah, he has simply followed the actionable information we have taught. And the result, you can see here, he's up by 120%, double his account. Michael, do you know what, Michael? I'm going to answer that question just before I finish here, my little bit here. Guys, Trendsignal here, costs $3,297 plus the VAT for a lifetime license to our indicator package, and also comprehensive enrollment to our Learning Academy, videos, articles, tutorials, weekly webinars, physical days down here in Milton Keynes, and so on and so forth. Michael, this is the money question. Yeah, this is the reason why people contemplate joining Trendsignal. I don't think anybody else can see this. Michael L has just asked a question. What percentage of your users have lost money overall? Very direct question. Anwari, is this live? Could be a troll and say no, it's not. Anwari, yes, it is live. Absolutely right. Michael, what percentage of your users have lost money overall? Michael, perspective. We have about 7,500 users on our books here globally. We ran a SurveyMonkey poll to deduce the percentage of people who are actively still using Trendsignal over 14 years. The figure that came back was 94.1% of people. 94.1% of people who have ever joined us are still actively using Trendsignal right up until last week. There you go. Right, on with it. Let's pass you over to the head trader here, Mr. Adrian Boothie. Very good at what he does. We'll be looking at different markets, different time frames, different trades, precisely how Trendsignal works, where to buy, where to sell, where to put your target in, where to put your stop loss in. No theory. This is practical, ladies and gents. Exactly how to make an average of around about 1,100 pips. Thanks, guys, and I'll talk to you soon.
Right, hello everybody, this is Adrian here. Thanks very much for being online today. Whilst I've just come on, can I just make sure the sounds come back on okay as we've done the handover? Just a quick yes or hello or something like that in the question section would be great. I've been chatting with a few people on the old ivories whilst I've been away, so yes, Amir, hello to you. A couple of people thinking we're not live, we are live. Daniel, really interesting question from Daniel. I understand there are a lot of success stories, but can you give us an example of an unsuccessful experience with you? What I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be explaining you some rules, okay? I'm going to be teaching you the rules that we follow in order to identify trades for one of our strategies. This is very much how we operate here at Trendsignal. What we're here to do is teach people strategies that are rules-based, that are simple to follow. If you follow those rules, and if you follow those rules to the letter, then you have exactly the opportunity to get on exactly the same trades and exactly the same results that we do. If you vary from these rules, if you go off and do whatever it is that you want to do, then of course you're not following the rules, and your results will be what your results will be. So in answer to Daniel's question, do we have examples of people who've been unsuccessful with trading, following what we do? Yeah, but that's because they're not following what we do. Okay, if you follow the rules that we teach, then you absolutely have the opportunity to make money here. So actually, it kind of brings me, I don't normally ask this question, but let me ask you all a question here. Do you want to place trades, or do you want to make money? It's a pretty straightforward question, really. Are you here because you want to place some trades, or are you here because you want to make money? Why don't you let me know on the question section? I know it's an obvious question, it's an obvious answer, rather, more importantly. You're here because you want to make money from trading, I guess. I want to make money, but that's the end result, isn't it? So how do we do it? I don't really mind, really. The mechanism I use for making money is trading. The mechanism I use is trading on an end-of-day chart. Why do I trade on an end-of-day chart? Because it's simple to follow. It doesn't require much time. It allows me a lot of freedom to do other things that I might want to do otherwise in the day, and it gives me a lot of opportunity. Do I want to sit in front of my screen 8 hours a day? No, not really. I could do if I wanted to, and one has an opportunity to do that with the strategies that we're going to teach you today, but it's not necessarily something for everybody. What we are going to be talking about is when to enter, when to exit trades, how we maximize our profits, stops and targets. Ultimately, this will be Trendsignal Chapter 1. Okay, so how we start our new clients, getting them going, getting them identifying trades, getting them following some rules, and then we can expand on that as we get into some one-to-one coaching and so on, but we'll talk about that a bit later on. Now, before I get into it, Sandra, end of day, what time zone? Okay, end of day, when we talk about end of day trading, that's typically 10 p.m. UK time, that's 5 p.m. Eastern. Okay, so that would count as the end of the day. I know it's a 24-hour market, a lot of these markets, but that's sort of a rough, well, that's your ballpark really. And in fact, that brings me into a question here. I'm going to ask a couple of questions. I want to get an idea about which time frames are going to be best suited to you guys today. So here's the first question, really. Number one, who here, yes or no, has got or would like to or has got the inclination to spend 20 minutes looking at the markets, following some rules, placing some trades each evening? Have you got 20 minutes to look at the markets and place some trades each evening? 20 minutes between 9:30, 10 o'clock UK time, that's 4:30 to 5 o'clock Eastern. 20 minutes in that area there. Can I get as many yeses or nos, please, into the question section? As many yeses, 20 minutes each evening to look at the markets, please. Lots of yeses coming through as well, there should be. The reason I asked that question is that's kind of the minimum, okay? So if you've got more time, that's great. But if you're sitting there thinking, well, I want to trade, but I don't really want to do loads of it. I just want to, make a bit of an income, follow some rules, play some trades, then 20 minutes is kind of your minimum requirement. You see what I mean? If you've got more time, great. If you only want to look at the markets once a week, it's really investing, I would suggest, that's going to be more appropriate. But 20 minutes, come on. You don't need to watch EastEnders, do you? You can analyze the markets, you can place some trades, and so on. Is that all you need to do, 20 minutes? It actually is all you need to do. I mean, last year, just from end of day trading, we're up 166%, just trading on a flat 1% risk. In fact, by compounding, that's up 360% by compounding your account, i.e. reinvesting your capital. That's just from end of day trading. So the opportunity is absolutely there, even just from trading once a day. But it does bring me into the next question, which is, let's think about that day-to-day lifestyle. How much time do you want to commit to trading? Is it once a day? Is it a few times a day? Or could you really trade realistically all day, i.e. 8 hours in front of your desk, treating it like a full-time job? And be honest with yourself. How often could you? How often do you really want to? Because not every people might have time. Someone who's retired might have all the time in the world now. It doesn't necessarily mean he wants to sit there spending 8 hours a day at the chart. So it's just a question about what's being realistic for you and your lifestyle and your own personal choices. So would it be once a day, a few times a day, twice a day maybe, according to Barbara here? What would it be? Let me know on the question section there. Okay, that's excellent. Predominantly, we're talking once a day or a few times a day. That's excellent. Thanks very much. That's good. Okay, Dana, don't hold positions overnight. Okay, what I suggest to you is if you're going to take on a new strategy, you need to follow the strategy. So if you've got preconceived ideas about the way in which you would like to trade, what you've got to ask yourself is the question as to whether those preconceived ideas, those pre-strategies you're already following actually work. If those strategies you're currently following are not working, you're not making money from them, then it's a question of change, isn't it? I would suggest. So you might be sitting there saying, I'm quite experienced, I like to trade in this way. The question you've got to ask yourself is this good experience? Do I have good experience? Am I a good trader? Am I making money? If the answer is no, or I'm not making enough, or I'd like to make some more, then it's a question of then looking at some further strategies, I guess. Right, good. Look, let's move on. This is just a quick snapshot from the sniper strategy, some recent results from June. A few trades coming through there. What I want to do is start teaching you the sniper strategy. Now, this is an interactive session, everybody. I will talk relatively quickly at certain points, but what I want to do is make sure everyone is familiar with what the strategy is before we can start speeding up. So my goal over the next 2 or 3 minutes is for you to all say, yes, Adrian, I can follow that strategy. All right? So whilst I'm demonstrating you this, I need you to think about whether you could follow this as well. There's 3 things we're going to look for on this chart. It's a dollar Swiss chart. It's a 15-minute, 5-minute chart from today. Kind of the lowest time frame that we tend to go off, and this is really for people who want to trade all day. It's not going to be for everybody, but it is something that we use as a starting point. All right, so when I explain the strategy, we can then apply it to higher time frames which are more suited to those who have got less time in the day or less inclination to spend lots of time at it, if you know what I mean. So what are we talking about here? color change. What you'll see on the chart is red and green lines. Okay, the more green indicators we have, the more we're expecting prices to rise. The more red indicators, the more we're expecting prices to fall. Therefore, it is color change which is going to identify turning points, right? We are looking for a turning point. The sniper strategy is a reversal strategy. It's looking for a change in the direction of the market. That is demonstrated by 3 indicators turning from effectively red indicators. They were green, they're now red. Identifying a change in the direction and therefore a turning point and a new opportunity. What are those 3 elements? Let's go through those now. Step number 1. What I'm going to look for, first of all, is this line at the bottom. This is called my trend signal line. This line will move and up and down and things like this. Let's not worry about the detail for now. All I'm really interested in is that color change. That color change from green to red tells me that the momentum has started to turn down, okay, i.e. the sellers are starting to take control. So step number 1 is just simply looking for that color. That's the worst one I've ever written in my life. Looking for number 1 there, that color change from green to green to red tells me about a turn down in the momentum of the market, and therefore step number 1. Now guys, yes or no, are we comfortable enough with spotting that color change on the chart? Can I get as many yeses or nos please in the questions section? That's fantastic. Good. Excellent. Thank you. Right. Step number 1. Step number 2. What else are we going to look for? Well, let's look at this line that's kind of bisecting the candlesticks really. What we're also seeing here is this line also then come through and change. Now this line really tracks price. We call it our VEX average line. Now all these lines are unique, proprietary, and they're all automatically plotted. Okay, so the line will automatically color change from green to red at the appropriate time. And that is now telling me in this case the price is now falling as well. So price is now turning down also. That is step number 2. So at the close of this bar at 96.84, we're in a situation where we've got price and momentum both turning down. So identifying for us that turning point in the market. When we talk about our sniper strategy, the icing on the cake is this disc here. In this case, it's a big solid red one. Some of them are yellow with red outlines around them. Either way, a very clear, very visual disc that plots a certain reversal scenario going on in the market. So when you see those 3 elements on the chart, i.e. turn down, and then also a sniper in play, that is identifying for us a reversal and therefore an expectation the market is likely now to fall, and therefore a short opportunity. So guys, is that clear? Are we happy with that? Can I get a yes or no in the question section? The entry would be on the close of that bar. As many yeses or nos in that question section as possible, please, everybody. Just want to make sure we're all on the right page. Very clear, says Adamola. Excellent. Well done. Good. Fantastic. That's my goal. Did I achieve my goal? I think I probably did for everybody, apart from one person, I think it might be. But don't worry. We'll pick it up as we go through a few other charts, okay? So that's my opportunity to short sell. What does the sniper look for, by the way? First of all, it's automatically plotted. You can scan charts looking for markets with snipers on as well. We've got our own chart scanner, and it also gives an audible alert too. But really what it's doing is identifying a number of things so that you don't have to. In fact, in the original version of the Trendsignal code, when we launched in 2003, didn't have a sniper. What we had was lots of people saying to us, look, I need something clearer, something more visual, something that really demonstrates to me something that says, look, Adrian, have a look at this market. You know, because we're busy people, aren't we? We've got other things to do. We don't want to be sitting there analyzing 1,000,001 chart patterns to identify a possible opportunity. So what does the sniper do? It identifies a number of things according to a certain scenario that we used to like to look at, or we still do like to look at in any case, but without doing the hard work for it. The algorithms do that. What it looks for is a reversal candlestick pattern. It analyzes Fibonacci. It looks at the degree to which the markets were overbought when that step 1 change takes place. And it also, a bit like an overstretched elastic band, we're looking to see how overstretched that elastic band is when that price starts to snap back. Okay, and when we get the appropriate section items in play, then the sniper will pop up, and from here we're seeing our opportunity to trade. Okay, so we're happy enough with that. We've got our entry there at 96.84. The entry point will be shown also. Amrik, what you're going to see on the chart are these lines there with identify clearly, of course, where the entry point is on the close of that bar. So it's something that you learn, you follow, and you trade according to the rules that are taught. Do you understand? I hope so. But what if some breaking news comes out just after placing your entry? You have to be aware of major market news events when you're trading on something like a 15-minute chart, 4-hour charts, daily charts. We don't tend to worry about the news so much because a lot of it's kind of priced in anyway. We tend to just trade on regardless, particularly on something like a daily chart. The only time that I'll ever down tools, Barbara, if I'm trading off a daily chart, which I tend to prefer myself personally, is over something like a US presidential election or UK election. Otherwise, it's business as normal. Okay, so effectively, the entry point is there at 96.84. So now what are we going to do? We've got our entry trade in. What else do we need to think about, everybody? Well, what about stop losses? What about targets? Let's just make sure we're familiar with what this strategy is in its entirety. We'll start you off, where's your entry point? We'll start you off looking for, a short, absolutely. So we're speculating on prices falling. We're going to go for a 20-point target. Why 20 points, 20 pips? Because it's simple to follow and because it works, basically. Two pretty decent reasons. Now, in truth, I can teach you bigger, better targets to go for in certain situations, but I want to keep it to the basics today. So what that means is, from an entry at 96.84, we're going to be going down for 96.64. Again, why there? Because it's simple to follow and because it works. As far as risk is concerned, stop loss, I'm going to look to where the market's just come from, that previous high. The market's just recently found resistance there, and the market then started to come off. That's where my stop loss is going to be. So just above that previous high. And of course, if I was going to go long, like let's say, I mean, there's no sniper here, but it would be just below that recent low. Okay, so that's where my stop loss is. Of the high, target 20 points. Now, if we're going for something like a daily chart, we'd look at 100 points as the objective, but I'm going to get into that a little bit later. So everybody, are we comfortable enough with targets and stops as well? Can I get some yeses or nos also into the question section, please? Good. Simple, right? Why 20, says Jazz? Because it's simple to follow in because it works. Two pretty decent reasons, to be fair. How much does it work? Depending on the time frame, you're looking at between 62 and 80% on success rate according to that strategy. And we do that then on a set and forget basis. Hopefully you know what I mean by set and forget. So we let the trade run out. So why do we do that? Well, look, let's take this trade as an example. So we've got our stop in, let's say at 96s. I don't know about you, but trading can be a little bit stressful sometimes, can't it? Does anyone get to feel the emotions after they place the trade? You got the trade on, you start to get the old bit, a few nerves coming through. Yeah? Anyone feel like that? Participate, come on. I think a lot of people do deep down. There's our entry there at 84s. We're 5 pips on side here. It's looking okay. All right. But the problem is the more we tend to sit there staring at it, the more nerves we get. Ooh, you see a candlestick like this? Oh, what are we thinking now? Pretty unhappy about it? Oh. But you see, one of the things that's interesting about trading is, and it's a bit like my golf really, it's not about how you score, it's about what you score. And trading is exactly the same. It's not about how the trade gets to its target. All that I really care about is that it gets to its target before it hits my stop loss. So it's its final destination that's important to me, not how it actually got there. And the markets will chop around, and this is a great example of that. But what's crucial is that the market eventually went through and hit my target before it hit my stop loss. So what we're talking about here is trading in a way, something called set and forget. This does not mean, so in other words, we do not use a trailing stop. We do not move our stop loss to break even. We run the trade according to either its stop loss or target. Again, I can teach you a better technique in due course, but I'm just going to keep it very simple for now. So we put our stop in, we put our target in, we leave the trade alone. Now, why do we do that? Because the more we're staring at it, the more we're going to succumb to those emotions. Why do we feel emotions? A lack of confidence in our strategy. Maybe we're risking too much money on our trades. Whatever the reason is, we need to take those emotions out of the equation so you can concentrate on just following the rules. So guys, are we comfortable with that as well? Entries, stops, targets, trade management. Happy? Sound good? Yeah? Lots of yeses? So have I achieved my job? So my job was to make sure everyone is comfortable with the strategy. Have I achieved my job? Good. Excellent. Thank you, Benedicto. Good webinar so far, Benedicto. Not great though, but good. I'll take good. Okay, so let's move on. So we understand the strategy, we understand what we're trying to do here. Let's have a look at it and see how it applies to other markets. Same basic rules really. You've got a trade here from the Dow that was from today, lovely reversal there. Here we're seeing the similar sort of thing, okay, where you've got a trade here where on the Dow and the market's turned from green to red. Same basic rules applying, of course, it's just the market turned the other way. Do you understand? And going for 20 points and so on. Dollars, just going back, yeah, this trade ran for about 6 hours, Sharon, absolutely. There's no point sitting there staring at the chart. It's going to be the dullest thing ever. Imagine sitting there staring at the chart on a daily chart. Imagine how bored you'd be ever. Just leave it alone. Go to work. Go and take the dog out. You know, whatever it is you want to do, there's no point sitting there staring at it because you can't change the outcome. In fact, what you're more likely to do is mess around with the trade after you place it and actually mess the outcome up. Because what you're more likely to do, correct me if I'm wrong, but after you place a trade, you're going to be looking for a reason to close it, aren't you? I bet you look for reasons to close the trade rather than staying in the trade. Yeah, I would have changed my mind about 20 times, says Sharon. But if you'd left the trade alone, then you'd have been all right, wouldn't you? And it would have gone on and hit your target. And this is something that confidence is going to help you with. This is something where trade sizing correctly is going to help you with. And that's all part of what we teach, of course. But also, that's something about trade management. And that's a key part of what we teach. So if there's 50 points, 20 points on the table, whatever the rules are, we need to make sure that all of our clients are able and have the wherewithal to be able to achieve that. Okay. Oils, some lovely trades on the oils there. FTSE. Nice trade there from today. Lovely buy there. Lovely short from earlier today as well. Absolutely class. In fact, some great trades. All of those winning trades there on those markets. Really nice, really clear trading opportunities. Sterling dollar, not really doing huge amounts. Euro dollar, there, lovely trade. Not really trading at 8 o'clock at night. It was a nice winner though, but certainly a buy on the euro dollar. Achieving profit too. So that gives you a good idea about the 15-minute chart. Now this is a good time frame for those of you who want to apply lots of time to this. That's not going to be most of you though. Most of you might be looking at the markets a few times a day, something like a 4-hour chart. And in which case you're going to use, time is going to be a premium to you. But do you have to trade full time to make a full-time income? Absolutely not. Look at these results here. 18,000 pips over the last couple of years. That's a significant opportunity. 28 markets. You're sitting there thinking that's a lot of markets to look through. But remember, we're not analyzing 101 different chart patterns to find out if there's a possible trade, are we? It's either turned from green to red or it hasn't. It's either got a sniper disc or it hasn't. Do you see what I mean? It's just about simple color change. And we can identify any picture very, very quickly. And we can use a scanner to work out, look, let's take our Forex list. Let's find me markets with a sniper on the last 3 bars on my 4-hour chart. We can start our scan and it can present us with a list of possible opportunities that we can then have a look at. And you can do that. You can run that scan whenever it is that you like according to the rules of the strategy. It's very, very straightforward. And we can then find trades like this. See this CAD yen trade? Now we'll start you off looking for targets of 40 points on a 4-hour chart. Why 40 points? Because it's simple to follow and because it works. So taking this example here, short from 88.44, what are we going to look for? We're going to look down for 88.04. Where's the market done? Well, look, whilst I've been talking today, it's gone down to 88.00. It's gone 4 points through my target. We've taken our 40 points and we're happy. Okay, so nice and clear enough. What you're needing time-wise here, 20 minutes, several times a day, looking through the markets and so on. So this trade here coming through at 2 p.m. on Friday. Market rallied nicely. Euro Aussie, oh, hang on. Euro Aussie there, similarly giving us a trade on Friday lunchtime and a nice movement to the downside. Oils, dollar Swiss. We can apply this to a variety of different markets, commodities, indices, foreign exchange. It's just a question of suiting it to the lifestyle that you lead. Remember that question I asked you earlier. What do we want to do? Do we want to place trades or do we want to make money? The best thing you can do is apply this to a time frame that suits your lifestyle. You don't have to place 100 trades a day to make money from this. In fact, about 70% of our clients trade exclusively on a daily chart. Does that work? Works absolutely fine. And it works because we're trading according to a rules-based approach to trading. And in fact, there's lots of people who are making all the money that they want just from looking at the markets once a day. It's about the end result that's important. Let's have a look at this one as well. This is another strategy we teach. Let's bring it up for sterling dollar here. To give you an idea about what it is we're trying to achieve here, or what we do achieve here at Trendsignal, since 2003, our ethos has been simple. Teach people simple to follow strategies that work. What we want is outcomes for clients, positive outcomes for clients. We want them to be able to use the strategies that they are endeavoring to use. You know, a complicated strategy isn't good for anyone because no one can follow it properly. And so many companies out there are embroiling their clients and bogging their clients down in complex strategies, which are very difficult to know whether it's actually an opportunity or not. Let's have a look at this chart. This is a strategy called S4, which we released in November last year. After about 2 years of testing and trading internally, we released it to all of our clients. Now, let's have a look at this arrow here. I'm going to ask a really stupid question here, but what do you think you do when you see a green arrow pointing up? What do you think you might do when you see a green arrow pointing up like this? You buy it, don't you? Of course you buy it. It's a ludicrous question. Okay. It's quite difficult to get that wrong, though, isn't it? I mean, we want a simple strategy, and most importantly, we want something that's, we want it easy to get it right. We want it difficult to get it wrong as well. You're sort of sitting there thinking, well, I've still got to line up a few indicators, and I can show you how to simplify it further, actually. But the interesting thing is, it can be this straightforward. Trading in the Trendsignal way is just simply a picture, very quickly referencing key information on a chart, and you can spot that within a couple of seconds. Okay, a red arrow down, of course, being a short selling opportunity. That hit our target today on sterling Aussie. That was about a 58-point target or something. I won't go into the detail with the S4 strategy, but it's really to demonstrate a point of what we're here to do. We're here to provide people with, yes, winning strategies, but a winning strategy is useful if nobody can follow it. We are required to, it is our job to provide traders with winning strategies that are achievable, that are actionable, that are followable, that are replicatable, whatever word you want to use. That's what we're here to do. Okay, and it's, as I said, very difficult to get a trade like this wrong, isn't it? You're not going to be buying on this bar, are you? Okay, you're not going to be buying on this bar, are you? Or this bar. It's either got an arrow or it hasn't. It's either got a sniper or it hasn't. Do you see what I mean? Does that sound like the sort of thing you might be looking for, guys? Let's move on. Just a quick touch. Very quickly have a look at a couple of stocks, similar sort of rules in play. I'm not going to spend any real time on this one, to be honest with you. But you can apply it to UK stocks, US stocks, a variety of different things. We'll teach you the rules associated with that. Probably where most of our clients actually trade is end of day stuff, though. And as I say, I do like to cover this off because most people think end of day is a bit boring, isn't it? It's not. It's not boring at all. Making money is not boring. And you know what? Even if it was, I don't really care. You know, what I'm interested in is the end result. Looking at the markets once a day, placing a trade, then going about the rest of my business, spending time with my kids, enjoying time with my wife, gardening, playing golf, whatever it is that I might want to do. I'm able to do those things by trading the markets once a day. I don't have to be sitting there chained to my desk 8 hours a day. What sort of returns can I get from this? Well, look, over the last 4.5 years or so, or just under than that, actually that data should be updated by now. It's a bit higher than that now. We're up 49,000 points. Who here, looking at the markets once per day over the last 4 years, would like to have been up 48,000 pips following some straightforward rules? Anybody? By the way, that's after losses. That's every trade, winners minus losers. That's the end result, 48,460 points. Once a day, 20 minutes a day, 38 markets. That's about 60 trades per month. It's plenty of trades. 38 markets. You're thinking that's quite a lot, isn't it? It's not, because remember, we're just looking at color change. Okay, we're not sitting there having to work out whether it's a doji or a bullish engulfing candle and get your ruler out. It's either color change or it isn't. And if you can't identify red and green change, then I can change the colors to whatever color change you want. And we'll start you off looking for 100-point gains, but this is where it can get a little bit more interesting. I can teach you more. I can teach you one additional rule that goes for bigger targets at certain situations. That gets us up to 59,000 points. Just one additional rule. Let's have a look at some of those end-of-day trades. For me, this is really where people can really achieve excellence, I think. 144 points there on sterling dollar. We've got a short on at the moment, which we're currently in. We're up about 30 or 40 points on it at the moment as that short side is kicking in. We're in the right direction. That's nice. That's clear enough, isn't it? We could identify that. Oils, these are all clear enough. Here's a question. Does this chart look any different to the other charts that I've showed you earlier? Does it look any different or does it look the same? Different or the same? Or D or an S, whatever you might want to put. It's the same, isn't it? Same basic rules apply. Okay, then your real difference is duration. So instead of being in a trade for 1 to 3 hours, we might be in a trade for a week maybe. But that's all right. That's okay. Sterling Aussie, gold here. Look at these. Bing, 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 bing. Lovely. Dollar yen. Dow. Look at that bar now. Ridiculous bar. But you know what? We had a short on it last night. What was my target on it? 100 points according to the rules. Every single Trendsignal client who looked at their charts last night should have been placing that trade. Where would their target be? Well, they went short at 21,405. That means a target of 21,305. Where did it get to? It went a bit further lower and then it's completely reversed back up. It can do what it wants now. I've hit my 100 points profit. I'm out. I've taken my money. If I was doing that at, I don't know, £3 a point, that's £300, $300 profit, whatever it is. New Zealand CAD, sterling New Zealand. This trade here, same sort of thing really. We went through and we hit our target today, a 258-point winner for my buy here on the 27th of June. I know you're thinking that's not 100 points. Remember, I can teach you an additional rule to know when to go for bigger points at certain times. But in this scenario here, we had our buy, simple color change. There's one additional rule that I'm not going to talk about right now that allowed us to go for bigger targets. What did the market do? It went about 270 points and it reversed on a sixpence. It can do what it wants to do after it's hit my target. It could carry on for another 500 points for all I care. What I'm interested in is a rules-based approach to trading that has delivered results over the last 5 years. Sterling yen, see, that was only 100 points. But that was its most likely outcome. The fact that it rallied a lot more than that is irrelevant. The most likely outcome was a 100-point move. Euro Aussie, here as well. We've also had winners today. We had 57 points on Euro Sterling. Okay, fair enough. Euro New Zealand, we've had a profit of, I think, 169 points, I think it was. Something like that on Euro New Zealand as well. The point is, with all of this, it's not about how long you do it for, it's about how well you use the information that you have. You do not have to work full-time hours at trading in order to make that full-time income. If you're looking for something that can pick up 1,000 points a month on average, that's approximately 8% a month on average, then you've got a significant opportunity with what we're doing here at Trendsignal. Okay? So, it's always good to hear what our clients think about what we're doing. I mean, as far as I always think that our clients' feedback tells me how well we're delivering what we're saying. It's all well and good me thinking we're doing something well, but it's all about our clients' feedback. What do they think about it? I love getting responses like this because it tells me we are doing a good job. It tells me we're delivering what I think we are delivering, we're supposed to be delivering, and so on. I've been a Trendsignal customer for nearly 3 months, during which time I've averaged 800 pips a month from following their simple rules-based approach. The Trendsignal Plus training package includes everything you need to replicate these results consistently, irrespective of whether you're an experienced spread better or just starting out with a demo account. The strategy is simple and easy to apply with color-coded bespoke indicators to make it very simple to scan charts and identify those presenting a trading opportunity. This approach requires no subjectivity, so you can reproduce the same results and also gain confidence the system works from looking at historical charts. I spent over 6 years looking for a trading system that works, and Trendsignal have found a way to accurately identify trades with 70% accuracy, so I'm delighted to be one of their customers. what I love about this is that he's echoing what I've been saying today, which means we deliver what I think and hope we deliver as the head of trading here as well. Now, let me ask you all a question. Now, wait for the question, okay? I want anyone here who has bought a trading system in Forex, investing, whatever, system, course, ebook, strategy, signals, whatever, anything like that. If anyone has bought anything like that to do with FX and trading, here's the question. Yes or no? Would you recommend it to other people? If anyone has bought anything to do with FX, trading, investing, anything like that, would you recommend it to other people? Yes or no? Right. Okay. I'd love to do a screenshot of this because I've basically got like one yes here. And that's it. Everyone else is coming up with a no. That's fairly normal. Okay? Fairly normal experience here. What I'd like to tell you is that we survey our clients quite a lot, actually. We want to find out if we're continuing to deliver and so on. In our most recent survey, we asked our clients whether they recommend Trendsignal to their friends and their family. Do you recommend Trendsignal to your friends and family? 89% of our clients, those that we have taught to trade, say yes, they recommend Trendsignal to their friends and family. For me, I think this is a fantastic statement, really. Why is it not 100%? I guess you can't please everybody. Maybe the 11% have only just joined and they don't really feel they're in the position to recommend it. But as far as I'm concerned, that is a significant number in this industry. You know, would you recommend your brother to join something if you've already been using it? You certainly wouldn't recommend your brother to engage in a training course if you were losing money, would you? 11 months in as a Trendsignal customer, Mr. Roberts goes on to say, and I couldn't be happier. I've averaged over 1,000 pips a month for the last 4 months now from simple end-of-day trading techniques that only take 20 minutes in the evening. This is fast moving from an income supplement to potentially a main source of income and being my own boss. No better recommendation can be made than my brother has just signed up to be a customer after hearing how well I was doing. Yvonne, I can't tell you how many times I've tried different schemes, but Eureka, I actually found one that works and it's brilliant. Why? Why is it so different for Yvonne and Mr. Roberts than other things that they've used? It's because we treat our clients with respect, I think it's fair to say. But there's no point in having a profitable strategy if you're just going to let your clients down with inferior support and training. They need to be able to use the strategies you're trying to teach them. If they can't use them properly, then there's no point in trying to learn them in the first place, is there? You've got to be able to learn everything that we're trying to teach you to be able to use it properly. That is key to what we do here. Let's be clear on something. We're here to teach the information you need to know to follow these strategies properly. This is what we call our complete trading package. And included in the complete trading package is the indicators and tools that we discussed today. The red and green lines, the sniper disc, the S4 arrows, the charting scanner, all of that involved there. The strategies as well, we need to be able to teach you those strategies. So what we're talking about here is the sniper strategies, swings, continuations, the S4 strategy as well, additional strategies, additional rules-based opportunities, clear entries, and clear exits. Now, but you've got to learn them. Okay, you've got to learn them so you can apply them for the rest of your life. So how are we going to teach them to you? We're going to enroll you onto our 6-month training and support program. What does that involve? Well, it's going to involve all the training videos that you might expect, of course. So you can do some home study. You can watch the videos, bite-sized videos going through when to get in, when to get out, the different strategies, markets, timeframes, all the information that you need so that you can learn it, reference it, you know, again and again and again, so that it all goes in the old gray matter there, and so you learn it and reference it and use it properly. You also have the opportunity to come to a training day at our office here. Now, whether you choose to go down the online route, absolutely fine. You also could come to see us in our Milton Keynes office in the UK, where we'll have you in for a full day and we'll teach you everything you need to know. Now, whether you can come in and see us or whether do online or do both, it doesn't really matter. Whatever it is, you're going to learn everything you need to know anyway. Trade management, trade sizing, risk management, when to get in, when to get out. We are not, I'm going to make this very clear, we're not here to teach you everything about trading. We're not here to teach you about the 101 different indicators that are out there. I'm not going to teach you about chart patterns. What I'm going to teach you is when to get in and when to get out of the markets, which markets and timeframes you should personally be trading to maximize your opportunity of making money. Okay, this is really what we're interested in here, is that positive outcome. We're not here to trade for trading's sake. We're here to place the right trades to get the right results. Trade chat, you can have your coach's Skype ID to chat about the markets, because remember, some of this stuff that you might learn or watch from the videos, the handouts, the user manuals and so on, something may get lost a little bit in translation or might not be quite understood. You need the opportunity to ask questions, don't you? Now, twice per week, we're going to host live online trading workshops. Now, these workshops are designed to go through current opportunities, new opportunities, current opportunities, recently just closed opportunities. We'll be going through all the trades so that you can compare what you're doing with the model. So effectively, in each of these sessions, myself and my colleague Jerry, we go through the trades. We talk about exactly where the entry is, where the stop is, where the target is, how we're running the trade. Okay, according to the rules that we teach and according to the strategies that we teach. What that gives you is the opportunity to interact. You can ask questions. It also gives the opportunity to say, hey, my stop was actually here. I've obviously got it in the wrong place. I know what I did wrong. So you can compare notes, can't you? The whole idea of the live workshops with recordings available if you can't attend live is so that in reality, your trades, your results should be like tracing paper over hours. In a matter of, I don't know, weeks, 2-3 weeks maybe, depending on your speed of learning, you should be doing exactly the same trades as we are. Okay, and we're not talking about complicated stuff here, are we? But it is a learning process, and we're there to help teach you exactly what you need. And we're going to do that as well with one-to-one coaching. So you're going to be assigned a extremely successful trader. We've got 5 coaches. Each of them are Trendsignal clients themselves. So weirdly enough, you're going to be assigned another Trendsignal user to be your one-to-one coach. And they're going to have 3 hours of personal one-to-one time with you. Now what this does is they go through the strategies with you one-on-one. They'll go through your trades with you one-on-one. They'll be pointing out where you're getting it right, developing your confidence, enhancing your confidence and so on, and also pointing out areas of improvement. So fantastic entry, your stop was in the wrong place, let's just tweak it. It needs to go above that candlestick there, not that one, something like that, and then we make sure everything's on the right page. This gives you a perfect opportunity to discuss with somebody who's been there and someone who's doing it now. Someone who perhaps 5 or 6 years ago was at a webinar just like this one, perhaps struggling to get the right results. We've taught them what to do. They're now extremely competent traders, and with the time afforded to them by Trendsignal trading strategies, they want to share some of that time with new Trendsignal clients to get them up and running and up to speed as quickly as possible too. Sharing their experiences, empathizing with you, ultimately showing them what they did, the rules that they followed in order to become successful traders, just like you will be as well. So that's really what we're all about from a support perspective. Positive outcomes for our clients, so that hopefully one day you'll be very, very successful and you'll be recommending your friends and family to be Trendsignal users as well. Right guys, I'm going to pass back to Lewis who'll take you through into the close, but hopefully that's been a useful intro into what we do here, the strategies we teach and how we teach them also, and hopefully we'll speak to you soon. I'll be back. Well, Lewis is on now.
Yeah, hi there guys, it's Lewis here again. Thanks Adrian, cracking segment as always. We've just switched over the microphone. Can somebody just do me a quick favour? Quick sound check. Anybody hear me please? Give me a quick yes or no. Well, it wouldn't be a no, would it, of course, because you can't hear me. Ladies and gents, anybody there please, let me know. Excuse me. Oh goodness me, yeah, loads of yeses coming through. Right. What I'd like to do, and I always do this at this part of the presentation, Emmanuel, quick question, does your software work on a Mac? Yes, it does. What I'd like to do is throw a really quick straw poll, if I can, please. If I can ask everybody just a simple question, what did you make of Adrian's segment? Can everybody now do me a favour, just write me down a quick one-line answer. Not looking for war and peace, but if I can ask everybody now, what did you make of Adrian's segment? Like it, love it, interested, curious, was it simple to follow? Can everybody now do me a favor, just write me down a quick one-line answer. I don't want to get too bogged down in this, but I just want to do a quick straw poll at this moment of the webinar. That would be fantastic. I'll give it another 5-10 seconds or so. And then we can read out some responses to see what the initial sort of gut feeling feedback is maybe it was boring, maybe you didn't like it. Gun to your head, guys. First thing that pops into your head, please. What did you make of Adrian's segment? The charts, the time frames, the trades, exactly how it operates. Good, says Lee. Amric says, so it will take time for trade live. Yes, a couple of days really, Amric. Stephen says inspires confidence. Michael says liked it. Very useful, says Emmanuel. Diana says excellent. Very useful, says Barbara. George says clear to understand. Joseph says great. Yes, it was good, says Daniel. Informative, says David. Trev says straightforward. Like it, says Emmanuel. Ben says very precise. Sharon says, I love the charts, so clear. Simple to follow, love the rules, says Sandra. Good, says Diraj. Quite easy to understand, says Mohsen. Nombolo says, learned a lot. Good presentation, says Richard and Deborah. Phil says, horrendously easy. Interesting, says Alandas. Michael, first time viewer, Michael, curious and complicated. It might be the first time, Michael. Not a problem at all. Looked very interesting, says Paul. Looks simple enough, says Diraj. It was good, says Edward. Clear and concise, says KJ. Interesting and useful, says Ademola. And also informative, says Jazz as well. Useful as well, says Michael at the bottom there. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate that. Good. Well, that's obviously us in a nutshell. I think it's wise to look at what people are saying about it. People who have looked at a webinar like this one, ended up paying their money and joining us, then having used the software, is it as is? Is it as described on the tin, having seen a webinar like this one? Lisa here, she caters for people who are brand new to trading here. So anybody in the webinar now, if you feel as though you are brand new to trading, Lisa here, she's your lady. Adrian, I just wanted to write a few words at Trendsignal. In the last month, I've made over 1,900 pips, and my last 26 trades have all closed positive. I didn't have any previous trading experience. There we go. It's quite important. And without the tool set and ongoing support and training, I doubt that I would have had the success I have. Kind regards, Lisa. I love this actually from Shelley. Shelley sent this in. She's been with us now for a little over a year, August in fact last year, but we received this now in March, the middle of March of this year. Ladies and gents, I started trading in the second week of September up until the end of February 2017. I've made a total of 5,800 pips, an average of more than 970 pips a month. Guys, when I tell people that we average about 1,100 pips every month here as an average, we're not making it up. There are people that are copying us. And in light of maybe mucking up a couple of trades or socializing, or even whisper it, but going on holiday for a period of time, people are still making these sorts of numbers. I would say that the system is excellent. As long as you stick to the rules, you'll be successful. I've never come across a trading education company before whose main objective is to help their clients to make money in as simple a way as possible. I've now dropped all of my other trading systems and I'm using Trendsignal only. Goodness me, that's a pretty decent indicative statement there, I think, of the quality of Trendsignal. You might remember, Adrian, going on about our Monday and Thursday morning workshops for clients. We throw an hour-long live broadcast, 8 o'clock every Monday and Thursday mornings, UK time, for users to log into. Well, anyway, to cut to the quick, in a recent workshop, we asked everybody, how have you done recently? How many pips have you made? I've blanked out the emails on the right-hand side, of course, for obvious data protection reasons. But you can see here the figures that are coming through. These are responses, are genuine, legitimate responses from users who are, of course, clients here using Trendsignal. The bottom one, we won't read all of these out, but the bottom one is pretty big time, I think. 6,470 since March the 1st, 2017 verified. Guys, when was the last time you made over 6,000 pips in a month? Anybody? Hands up. I know it's a webinar, but hands up. Anybody, when was the last time you made 1,000 pips profit in a month? I can't see anybody saying yes, me. You mean lost day, says Phil. Very good. Lost 1,000. Guys, come on, this isn't good. Everybody's saying never, but then some people are saying I've lost 1,000. Good grief. I shouldn't laugh, should I? But this is what's happening. I'll summarize this candidly as possible. Ladies and gents, cast your mind back to the start of the webinar presentation. Ladies and gents, there are people using our software and strategies and are making substantial four-figure profits on a monthly basis. We've seen this before. It's the trading log of last month. If you had have joined us at the end of May for a start in June, you'd have made over 900 pips worth of profit. Fair enough, Daniel. Good stuff. Wow, says Colette. Amir, so for £2,000 sterling profit, I need to trade at £2 per pip. Amir, you are spot on. Exactly right. Or, of course, if you're based overseas in your local currency. Right then, let's get down to it. It gets a bit more serious. Yes, exactly. Wayne. It gets a bit more serious now, ladies and gents. I have to get down to the crux of the matter. If you are serious about what you've seen from Adrian and I this evening, you like what you've heard from us, but you're enthusiastic and you're serious about taking control, you have to ask yourself 3 questions. Do you want to make an additional income? Yeah? Nobody is going to make it for you. You have to realize the opportunity that is out there and make the change. Do you have the ability to learn simple rules? We've already been through our flagship Sniper Circle trading strategy, so we know you got plenty of positive feedback from this. We know how to make points or pips. Do you have a minimum of 20 minutes a day? That is genuinely, legitimately all that is required in order to implement our end-of-day trading strategy. So we know we have this. In fact, goodness me, by the time you've placed 3 or 4 trades up your sleeve, actually, it's not even 20 minutes. It's barely 10 minutes by the time you've scanned it using Trendsignal's inbuilt scanning facility. So we can tick all of these, no problem. The time is now. Why would I say that? Ladies and gents, I am now having conversations, real conversations with people who were, quite honestly, faffing around at Christmas time, telling me that they had seen a webinar, they liked it, they could see themselves using it. Do you know what? They didn't join us. They had their reasons for not joining us. Money, not a problem. Time, not a problem. Well, I still don't know, Lewis. And I'll tell you, they have missed out. Even worse, I bet that they've tried to still continue and to do it themselves. This is the problem with the industry. The answer, ladies and gentlemen, is to join us as a new client. Cost. Let's get down to the nitty-gritty here, please. Trendsignal license. It's a lifetime license. Costs a one-off fee of $3,297 plus the VAT. That is for a lifetime license, and it includes 2 things. Immediate setup with the software. What does that mean? You name the best date and time you're free, one of our IT managers will give you a call at a time convenient to you, of course, to download and install everything onto your computer. Laptop, desktop, Windows, Apple, more than one device. Ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't matter. They get you up and running. They also grant you instant access to all of the confidential materials on our member area. The videos, the articles, the tutorials, one-to-one coaching sessions, physical days over here in Milton Keynes, UK. Or obviously not if you're not based in the UK. We're not going to twist your arm to fly over for crying out loud. Well, mind you, there is an airport here just over the offices, but even so that you are signed off as competent in as short amount of time as possible. This is a fast-track course. I know what you're thinking. This isn't a £50 ebook, ladies and gentlemen. It's a piece of individual, proprietary, state-of-the-art, award-winning, twice award-winning, predictive trading software. It's priced accordingly. It's a big size. Do you know what else is a big size? 21,000 pips worth of profit last year. I'll say no more. There is an element of risk associated if people join us, except that there isn't. Guys, I can't make it more fair than this. I'll meet you halfway. Fair enough? We offer a 2-week money-back guarantee with every single person who happens to join us. You get yourself signed up as a new client, you make your first installment or you make your payment, you are covered with our cast iron money-back guarantee. We're not like other companies. Quite honestly, I haven't got the time to tart around arguing the toss over refunds. I want people who are enthusiastic and serious about generating an income from trading the financial markets. If during the initial 2-week period, ladies and gentlemen, you decide that Trendsignal is not for you for whatever reason, providing you've placed a few trades using the software, well, why wouldn't you? Let's face it, that's why you've joined us. And also you've attended a couple of your coaching sessions, imperative in the hope and the quest of making an income. Trust me, they're worth their weight in gold. Guys, we'd be distraught. Goodness me, it seldom happens. I can tell you now, out of about 7,500 people, we have had nearly 19 refund requests in total. 19. It's less than 0.5%. Everybody who joins us broadly sticks with it. And it's great because this is the first thing that people have legitimately seen that produces results. Right, enough. I can see here on my questions panel, plenty of people are interested and keen to get started. I have a few questions with regards to the cost. I think a few people here I can see. Is the payment installment based? Can I pay in monthly installments? Is anybody here? Yes, exactly, Wayne, that's right. Is anybody here interested in joining us but would prefer to pay in installments? Would a part payment system, would that help anybody, please? Give me a quick yes or quick no. Do you know what? It might not even help you, quite frankly. Right, well, if installments helps you, I've got 2 things for you. Installments. That's the solution. If you want to become a client of ours, take your pick. You can either pay in full or pay over 3 monthly installments. Guys, take your pick. You can either pay in full or pay over 3 monthly installments. The delivery of the software and the training is precisely the same. You still get immediately set up. You still get instant access to all of the confidential materials. You are still covered by exactly the same money-back guarantee. And now, do you know what? It's the summertime. We're giving you a 10% discount for anybody who happens to give it a go in July. I don't normally like doing this sort of thing, but what the hell? Adrian's twisted my arm. Let's do it. Let's give you a 10% discount off the prices. So now, ladies and gents, if I refresh my screen, you can see here a lifetime license, 1 installment of $2,997 plus VAT, or if installments, takes your pick, 3 installments of £1,100 plus the VAT. There you go. Can't say any fairer than that. Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the part of the presentation. Thank you all for joining us this evening. If you like what you've heard from us, and if you like what you've seen from us this evening, if you'd like to join us, give it a go, get started, please type join or offer into the questions panel. Please type join or offer into the questions panel. Please also include the best contact number and also the most convenient date and time for me. For example, if you wanted to pay in full, please type join Joe Blogs on the mobile phone number tomorrow at 10 o'clock in the morning. If you'd like to pay over the 3 installments with a reduced price, please type offer. Please also include the best contact number and also the most convenient date and time for me. For example, offer Lewis Clamping on the landline number tomorrow at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, say. You've seen the results that we are making. You have seen the results that our clients are making. The only difference is a client is somebody who started off life as a, lowly webinar attendee. The only difference is they had the wherewithal, the temerity to give it a go, to get started. They recognize that there is a volatile market out there and there are people making profits. If you're not making profits, you have to do something about it. Guys, I can see, I'm going to confirm in just a second, plenty of join-in offers on here. Ladies and gents, could you do me a favor, please? If you are popping in joins or offers, ladies and gents, would you mind please just confirming the best contact number and also the most convenient date and time for me, please? It's all very well just popping an offer. Just let me know the number. And also, you must let me know when you're next free. I understand we have plenty of people who are based outside of the UK, which is neither here nor there really, but we just want to get it so that it's calling you at a sociable time, please. Guys, you might be sat there thinking, well, I've seen a webinar. Lewis, I have some questions for you. I don't know whether I'm ready to start, but I have some questions. Perhaps you'd like to talk to us. Lewis, I tell you what, can I book in a quick call with somebody just to talk over a few things? I just want to get it straight, please. Ladies and gents, please type, yes, exactly. Ladies and gents, please type call into the questions panel. Please type call into the questions panel. Please also include the best contact number and also the most convenient date and time for me. For example, call Lewis Clamping on the mobile tomorrow at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, say. And what we can do is go through everything in a bit more detail with you over the telephone, what the joining process is, answer any questions that you have. Do you know, I know most of the time people just want to say, Lewis, I've seen a webinar, I just need to speak with somebody to ensure that what I've seen is exactly as is it being delivered, and so on and so forth. Right, ladies and gents, I'm just going to take a quick slurp of water. What I'm going to do is go quiet for about 30 seconds, give you all a bit of time to chew over the fat. I can see a couple of you have done already. So what I'm going to do is give you a couple of seconds now before I nip off for a quick drink. But I'll come back to you in about 30 seconds time. Thanks, guys. Talk to you in about half a minute. Hi there, guys. It's Lewis here again. Thanks ever so much for holding there. Good grief. I'm going to have a bit of time. Bear with me, ladies and gents, because we've had a few people do this. Right. I'm not going to confirm the numbers or the times, ladies and gents, but just your name if you've popped me down. If I miss anybody, please just let me know at the end. There are quite a few. Right, and I'll do questions as well. Right, Numbello says pay over 3 months. Yes, that's fine. Barbara, to you would be better and go ahead 3 monthly installments. Of course you can, Barbara, that's fine. Can you pay by credit card? Yes, Daniel. Offer says Dalian, Edward, Stephen, and also to you, Emmanuel, Numbello as well. Colette, to call. To you, Daniel. Thank you very much, Daniel. As well to you as well, Barbara. Thank you, Daniel, as well. Thanks, Amric, and give you a call, Amric, as well. Emmanuel, thank you for that number. Colette, of course, give you a call tomorrow after 6. Thank you, Dalian. Thank you as well, Numbelu, as that's fine. Final question, is this recommended for stocks? Yes, Emmanuel, you can trade stocks as well, absolutely. Thanks, David. David R there. Thank you as well to you, Edward. Colette, oh, I see what you're saying, Colette, not a problem. Yeah, we can do that. Okie dokie, right. Okay. Right, let me just scroll down there. Goodness me. Edward, yes, of course, Friday at 7 o'clock on the number there ending in 974. Paul, thank you, Paul T. I'll give you a call at 5 o'clock tomorrow, thank you. Michael, give you a buzz on Thursday morning. Discuss a few things, new to trading. Mike, yeah, sure, not a problem. Yeah, more than welcome, thank you. Sharon, to you, Sharon, yes, of course, give you a call tomorrow around 1 o'clock-ish. Thanks, Sharon, for joining us. Thanks, Michael J. Not a problem. Give you a call tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Thanks, Michael. Yeah, not a problem. Stephen, thank you to you, Stephen LB. Give you a call as well tomorrow between 10 and 11. Thank you. Okay, Amric. Yeah, not a problem at all. Thanks, Joseph, as well. And thank you, Roger, too. Excellent. Blimey, I hope the guys next door are taking down all the details. Goodness me. Last call, ladies and gents, before we move on. I've got about another 5 minutes before we wrap up. Last call, please type join or call into the questions panel. Please type join or call into the questions panel. Please also include the best contact number and also the most convenient date and time for me. That would be fantastic. Now, don't worry too much about this next slide because we go through this in a bit more detail with everybody who, of course, happens to join us. What we do is somebody says, green light, yep, let's get going, let's get in. We place the order over the telephone. I need 5 minutes with you, normal bits, names, addresses, card details, that sort of thing. We then discuss your trading plan. It's only really the broad skeleton of it, really. The meat is applied when you have your first coaching session, of course. The IT guys then install and download all of the charting platforms onto your computer. Apple, Windows, desktop, laptop, both, more than one device. I know that many people have more than one computer these days. Important, ladies and gents, they also include the Ensign software subscription. They install that, but that is a third-party cost of about $50 US a month. It's about 40 quid a month that everybody, including myself and us here, we have to pay for the live data. We then enroll you into our Learning Academy. This is where the Skype chat setup is included. The online workshops, of course, are as well, and the one-to-one coaching sessions. The whole thing culminates in an invitation to come in and see us here. Now, of course, if you can't, or you don't want to, or logistically it's a nightmare, you absolutely have to come. Non-attendance, or rather attendance, ladies and gents, at the training day has absolutely no impact upon your profitability with Trendsignal. It's a bit more than a meet and greet, but it's not as much as an intensive training day. It's just an opportunity to meet the team behind the software and learn a bit more about the premises here and how we trade, that's all. Guys, it's not just a webinar, bit of software and a handshake. This is a proper project that people embark upon for the long term. Thank you. 31st of July, you've got there 5 spaces, or the 10th of August, you have 9 spaces there too. So pick the best day, completely up to you, plenty of space on both. It's a 9 o'clock kickoff here down here in Milton Keynes. So we look forward to welcoming you and meeting you, of course, if it comes to it. Yeah. Right, last bit, I won't read all of this out, but essentially, to cut to the quick, you've got a guy here, Christian, who joined us many, many moons ago, but in his first week of using Trendsignal, he realized that there's a massive potential with this. You can see, since investing in the Trendsignal software, which I've been trading with for about 6 weeks, I've made 1,400 pips and £7,000 profit. The investment in Trendsignal has already paid itself, and I'm making good profit. I too was skeptical first. Easy to follow, no nonsense approach makes trading easy whilst I can focus on my day job. Kind regards. Sandra, question. Which broker can you use? I'm going to check with Gain and Interactive Brokers. Sandra, what for, please? Any thought behind that? We're completely independent, you see, so you can use us as a separate piece. Think of it as a separate piece of analysis. Trendsignal is an analysis tool. You would consult Trendsignal to get in on the trade. You would then take that information and go to either Gain or Interactive Brokers to then place the trade itself. We're purposely independent, Sandra. What we didn't want to do is say to everybody, yes, we're great, we're fantastic, come and join us. Oh, but by the way, you have to trade with IG, for example. We're not tied. There's no conflict of interest. We're completely independent. Whew, right, ladies and gents, that brings this evening's presentation to a close. Thank you all ever so much for coming in to see us. I've thoroughly enjoyed the presentation this evening. I hope you have all too as well. Thank you, Dialan, there at the end. To everybody who has left their details, ladies and gentlemen, we should be calling you on the numbers provided at the times specified. To everybody else, I'm sure we shall catch up later this week just for a wee chat to see exactly how you found it. Thank you all again once more for attending our webinar presentation, guys. On behalf of Adrian Boothie, the head trader here, and also myself, Mr. Lewis Clamping, thank you all again once more. Hopefully, we will have the opportunity to catch up shortly. That's it from us, guys. Have a lovely rest of the evening. Cheers, guys, and all the best.